Hey guys, Danny Johnson here, and today we're going to be assembling the Crocodile Cave Adventure. So this is a fun inflatable with water. There are a lot of instructions on this, so make sure that you read through them. I might miss something. It's basically saying to make sure it's safely anchored, that it's away from things, that you don't use it indoors. It is also pretty heavy, about 66 pounds. Now, once you have it out of the package, part of that is the motor, and you can separate some of that, but be careful lifting it into its first spot, and team lift as you're putting it away as well. When it comes to opening it, they recommend not to use a knife. If you do, make sure that you're flat like this so you're not cutting down into it. So the better way is if you can find a plastic piece that you can use to open, like even like a plastic knife, then that helps because you can cut it the same way, but you really just don't want to risk puncturing anything, of course. Now this is quite large, so you do want to make sure it's going to fit in your backyard. It's 12 feet wide, 10 feet high, and 17 feet in length. So make sure that you have a lot of unobstructed area, that it's not very windy either or rainy. Install at least 10 feet away from any fixed structures, including the roof. So maybe even a little bit more. Check for any sharp objects. Make sure it's not windy. Next, you want to roll it out, so untie it here. It's being tied together by basically the inlet line. So you'll unfold it one way and then unfold it the other. It's kind of like a tent if you've ever worked with tents before. And so you'll go ahead and spread it all out before you try to inflate it. Once you have it all flat, this is where we're going to take our inlet tube, and they do want this going far away from it because of the water. And when we're putting it onto the air pump, make sure that it's not going to have any water contact. So we'll put the sleeve over the end of the air pump. Now you're going to take your Velcro strap, and it's like going through belt loops on your pants. So just go through all the way around, then it's going to double back and Velcro to itself. So just make sure that you're going through each of these. You don't want to miss the one on the bottom. You want to have a really nice tight fit because there is a lot of air pressure coming out of this. So loop it through, double it back, get it nice and tight, and attach it back to that Velcro. With it nice and secure here, we can make sure that the line is straight. You don't want it to kink as it goes towards the inflatable. There's also a tie off here for letting the air out, so you want to make sure that that is tied off. Now as for the button, you want to turn it on at the motor, and also that red button that was on the actual adapter here, you have to push that in order to turn it on. I was pleasantly surprised that it's really not that loud. I mean, it is loud and it's inflatable, but not too loud. So you'll want to just kind of help it as it's blowing up. And then on the side, it's easier to find once it's inflated. This is for letting the water out in the end. So you'll go ahead and just Velcro this on up here. It's easier to do once it's inflated. So this is kind of what it looks like here as it's been inflated. Now it is normal to have, you know, some air blowing through the seams. Again, you want this line to be straight if you can, so that it's not kinked, so you have a constant air supply and you're not backing it up at the fan. But there's also a small little drain here. This one didn't really seem to do much when it was time to actually let the water out. So you will be better off using the larger release when it is time to drain it. But again, I'll show you later. I like to bail it out onto the grass to save the water a little bit better. As you touch it, you will notice there is some air coming through the seams, and that's normal. You'll see some bubbling. Now you want to get a nice rubber mallet, and it has stakes. And you want to stake this into the grass because this thing can really float away in the wind. So you want to make sure you go around to all of these and hammer it down. They're easy to pull out when you're done, but make sure you never run your power cord underneath it. Okay, now we have our water. We're going to attach this to the spigot or even a hose. Sometimes it's too close to the house for it to go on at the actual spigot. So these attach in 3 different places, labeled 1, 2, and 3, and either attach it as it's inflating or send somebody up there. That's what I did to put up that top one. The second one goes here right at the bottom of the mouth, and the third one onto this water feature. And they kind of spray out, so sometimes you have to adjust them. But I think it was better just to let them run on the water slide so it was wet. So it says that it's rated for 200 total pounds on the inflatable area at one time, and that would be at max 100 pounds per person. So if they're smaller, then they weigh 30 or 40 pounds, you'd be fine with several running on it at the same time. But if larger, that's what they have it rated for. I didn't see any problem with the 2 small ones that I had running around on it. It seemed to stay inflated pretty well. When it comes time to taking it down, what I like to do is bail out as much of the water as I could and throw it across the grass. It does also have the larger release here, the Velcro one we saw earlier, where you take this down and let the water out, but it then floods in one area. Although you don't want it wet where you're folding it up, so do the best that you can. But I then also turned it back over, reinflated it, and then I would go around with a towel and wipe it down once all the water's out of it. So this is going to help you because you really don't want any mold or anything accumulating when it's packed up. So I just kind of walk around, and when it's inflated, it dries off pretty fast, it seemed. But I am in a desert climate. There is the outlet here, as you can see, for letting the majority of the air out more quickly. And you just want to make sure you're not puncturing it as it's, give it its time to deflate. I would recommend opening it back up and inflating it a day or 2 later to make sure it's fully dry if you're not going to use it for a while. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Check the video description for information on this and other videos that I've made that are similar to it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please feel free to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks, guys.